On today's episode, Dad measures accurately.
And as you can see, I'm super precise with how I measured that.
He day drinks.
Oh, I know what I can do. I can drink.
And we're not sure what's going on here.
And people are like, oh no!
Who got this? Dad got this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad Got This. What do we got going on today? Lasagna in the Instant Pot. Never done lasagna in the Instant Pot before. I've always baked it. Heard good things about it. Let's find out if it works. You need lasagna, 2 cups of meat sauce. Where do you get meat sauce? Well, you hit this recipe link over here. Maybe it's over here. I'm gonna go like this so I can get it for sure. And that's Dad's recipe for meat sauce. It's a quick and simple meat sauce recipe. I got 2 cups of it right here. You're gonna need some spices. I've got garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, basil, and some grated cheese. Teaspoon of each in here. An egg, 1 egg, 2 cups of shredded mozzarella, and a glass of red wine. Why do you need a glass of red wine? Not for the recipe. For Dad. Everything else is an assemble thing. It's kind of like a Lego setup. Since Dad does not have the oven-ready lasagna noodles, I gotta soak them. So we're gonna have to soak them in some really hot water for maybe 10 minutes to get them soft enough to be able to break apart and layer in our pan. This is 1 box of lasagna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's half the box of lasagna. About a half a pound. I think that's a 2-pound box, who knows? It says 16 ounces. That's bad at math. Now we're gonna get our tap water as hot as it goes. Mine gets pretty hot here at the sink, so it should be fine. If you have to, you might have to almost boil water and then pour it over it. But you need them really like kind of soft and pliable. You could, I guess, boil them, but maybe they'd overcook in the recipe. I don't know. And you're gonna need a trivet. And I like the trivet with the handles because that makes it easy to lift your lasagna in and out of the pan. We've got our 7-inch springform pan, almost hot enough. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and cover these and soak them for about 10 minutes. After those are soaking, while those are soaking, after a while, yeah, it's a while, we're gonna go ahead and make up our ricotta mixture. We got a 16 ounce, actually they're 15 ounce. Why wouldn't they make it 16? That's kind of normal. But a 15 ounce container of ricotta cheese. And it's not ricotta cheese. You wanna know the real way, or the way we were taught to say it? Ricotta. But I say ricotta because most people would be like, what the heck is ricotta? But we need half of this ricotta or ricotta. And as you can see, I'm super precise with how I measured that. And we're gonna take all of our spices and pop them in there. Take our egg. And this gets a mix. And we're just mixing this up so that everything is nicely incorporated. And this is gonna be a layering scenario. You're gonna put a little bit of sauce, a little bit of this, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sauce, a little bit of this, a little bit of cheese, sauce, this, cheese, sauce, this, cheese. And it goes over and over and over again until you have a lasagna. And now we just wait for the noodles. There's not a lot to do. I mean, really, that's really it. You mix this crap together when the noodles are ready. If I had the oven ready, those noodles, I'd just be like, bam, 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 go. Oh, I know what I can do. I can drink. While we're at it, take our springform pan and we will spray it. You can use Pam. I just picked up this thing on Amazon and it's awesome. It's like looks like a perfume sprayer, but it's for oil and it sprays oil perfectly. Take your springform pan, And wrap it in foil because this sucker's gonna leak apparently. And we are prepped, ready to build a lasagna in however many minutes it takes for these noodles to soak. My water's warm, but not hot. I don't know how long this is gonna take. All right, I'll be back. All right, it's been a little over 10 minutes. These are still pretty hard. I don't know about this. We'll give it a try though. All right, we've got our noodles. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, layer down some sauce. That'll give you a little bit of a base. And then start making a noodle base. All right, got our first noodle base. More sauce. Ricotta. Mozzarella or mozzarella, depending on how you say it. And we repeat. While I'm doing this tedious task, I will tell you another story of Dad's childhood and his grandparents. So I've told the stories before that my grandmother liked to give my grandfather a hard time, is a good way to say it. And one day, my grandmother wanted to go to the store to get her lotto or something. I forget what it was, but it was something that was very important to her that she had to have. Well, my dad had left his car behind my grandfather's car. We had a house with a 2-car garage, and my grandfather's car was parked on the left side of the garage, and my dad was parked directly behind him with not enough room for you to pull your car out and get to the side and go around. Well, this was not making my grandmother happy that she couldn't go out and get what she needed. So she's laying into my grandfather like it's his fault. Well, my grandfather decides, you know what? I'm going to get the car out and we're gonna go. And the way he does this is my grandfather proceeded to take, I think this thing was like a Ford Fairmont or something. God, it's terrible. I should remember what it was. It's this big brown long Ford, like an 80s car. And he decided to do a U-turn inside of a 2-car garage. And there's 2 posts also in the middle of this garage. So he sat in that car for 3 hours. It took him to go ahead and U-turn that car. And we checked it. There are literally inches of difference between the width of the garage and the length of the car. Don't know how he did it. One of our neighbors pulled out a lawn chair and sat down and watched my grandfather for 3 hours go ahead and do this. And why did my grandfather do that for 3 hours and sit in that car and try to pull that off? Because it was better to sit in that car by himself and try and do the U-turn than it was to listen to my grandmother yell at him. And by God, this man pulled it off. He did a full U-turn inside a 2-car garage. To this day, it still amazes everyone. But the best part about the entire story, when my dad gets home and we tell him the story of what Grandpa did, my dad says, the keys to my car were right here on my dresser. You could have just grabbed them and moved my car. Yeah. But that is why I love terribly that man and miss him greatly. And my grandmother, who was hard on everybody, but God bless her, you gotta love her. All right, we are just about layered all the way up. And there we go. The last of the ricotta. And Dad had one noodle left over that he's not gonna use. And then we have some cheese left over. We're gonna go ahead and put that on top. All right, Instant Pot time. Let's get it, to borrow a phrase from the Diz Jab. Open it up. I have got my all-purpose ring on here. This is my regular cooking ring. I have special rings for special things. That sounds pretty good. I have special rings for special things. Check the link above for Dad's Instant Pot rings video. I think it's actually my top 5 tips for the Instant Pot. We need a cup of water. So we need 1 cup of water. Dad's cup measuring thing is dirty from sauce, so we will use 2 1/2 cups. Simple math. I can do that sometimes. We get our little trivet. Pop our lasagna on there. Down it goes. Close her up. We're gonna go to manual, 24 minutes. Dad has the basic 6-quart, so there's no high, low, or any pressures on mine. It's manual. Might be the pressure cook button on yours. We're gonna pressure cook this for 24 minutes, and then we're gonna let it do a 12-minute natural release. All that means, make sure that your toggle is set to sealing. Otherwise, it's never gonna come to pressure and your food's not gonna cook. Dad almost screwed that up. We're gonna do that natural release. All that natural release means is after it beeps and says it's done, don't touch it for that amount of time. So 12 minutes, don't touch it for 12 minutes. That's gonna let the steam and the pressure slowly release itself on its own. In a lot of recipes, the natural release just helps keep the moisture in the food. Sometimes when you do the quick release, which is when you just immediately hit the toggle and the steam shoots up in the air and goes crazy, and people are like, oh no! I don't know if anyone does that. I picture people doing that. But instead of doing that, which is called a quick release, which lets a lot of the moisture right out of there, you do a natural release, and then it keeps the food a little bit juicier. That's it. We're gonna wait. I will see you in however long it takes. It usually takes about 10 or 12 minutes to pressurize. At the time to cook, about 24 minutes, that's 36 minutes. And we got 12 minutes for the natural release, it's 48. All right, I don't know, almost an hour. This doesn't seem a lot faster than regular lasagna cooking. I don't know, hopefully it tastes good. And we're back. About 14-minute natural release. I got held up. See if this thing does anything. No. Smells like lasagna. Doesn't look so appetizing. I think this needs a broil. We're gonna stick this under the broiler for a couple minutes just to brown and bubbly up all that cheese and make it nice and awesome. We are back, and this thing's out of the broiler and it crisped up awesome. Smells fantastic. And now it's time to go ahead and unwrap this lovely little gift. Probably do this on a plate in case stuff oozes out. Okay. Ooh. Let's unspringform our springform pan. Okay. It's not good for the photo. Dad has a couple quick photos to shoot, then we'll cut this sucker open and see how it tastes. Okay. That's a wrap on Instant Pot Lasagna. It came out perfect. Surprise, surprise, I was not expecting. The noodles are actually al dente, which I love. It's got perfect flavor, it's cheesy, it's got the tomato sauce, fantastic meat sauce. That's what makes this. You have to have a great meat sauce. You can use jarred stuff, but it's not gonna be like this. This is the good stuff. Make your own food. So that's it today. Dad got it done under the wire, in time to go pick his kiddo up from school. So Dad doesn't do outros. So that's it. Dad does eat his food though. All right.
For more fun and easy recipes, visit dadgotthis.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the damn bell. I double dog dare you. Come on, you have to do it. It was a double dog dare. I mean, those are the rules.